Join me and my guests, Ellie Harvie, Shawn MacDonald, Roman Danylo, today on Roundtable as we discuss all of the things that annoy us and make us happy. Stay tuned. Welcome to Roundtable. I'm your host, Michael Roberts. Tonight on the show, we have actor, comedian Ellie Harvie. Actor, writer?
Yeah.
Actor, writer, yeah. Shawn MacDonald, I'll go there. All right. Actor, comedian,
sure.
Writer?
That sounds good.
You ready
yeah,
to?
I'll take all three.
All right. Dancer. Roman Danylo.
Yes.
And I can't believe here we all are. This is great.
How are you, Mike?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm very thrilled to have the three of you here.
Well, we're thrilled to be here.
Yeah,
and you know what, Mike? This is a big round table.
It is.
A round table.
Are you going to dig a shot at me? Is this a...
No.
Are you leading up to something?
Take a shot at him, Ellie. Come on, right off the
start. Lead up to a fat joke? Is that what this was? I felt it. I know you too long.
But I'll think of a good one.
All right, yeah, save it for the second half. All right. I'm just thinking, you guys are all friends. Well, we're all friends.
We're together.
We sort of, no.
For years?
We're not friends, no.
Oh, not
really
well,
friends.
you two. With you guys?
We used to be. We used to be
friends.
I think really I'm the pinnacle person here because actually I'm friends with each one of you.
That's sort of the common denominator.
Oh,
Like you two don't hang out, right? Like you.
Not really.
Lowest common denominator.
Oh, you know what?
I would agree with you, Ellie, there. You are the sort of the linchpin here.
The hub.
And other than that, what ties us all together is that we're all performers.
Right.
Yeah.
We're all actors and stuff.
Right.
And we've all had, relative different successes and different things.
Yes.
But at some point, we've all had horrible, am I good at segues? At some
You
point,
are.
we've had horrible gigs or horrible things where we've had to maybe perform in giant-headed costumes or something for money.
Yeah.
And things like that. Like, can I tell you one of mine?
Sure.
I'm so excited about this story because I've told this story before, and I told this story to someone, I'll tell you who, to Ken Hegan. He ended up writing an article for Rolling Stone magazine, and I was in Rolling Stone magazine last year with this story.
Was your name in Rolling Stone?
Yes, my name was in Rolling Stone. I know, I was completely thrilled.
Yeah.
I was dressed up as Bucky the Beaver.
Right.
In a mall in White Rock, British Columbia, for those of you who aren't watching here, where the purpose of me was to buy Canadian. So I'm dressed as a beaver and I have a little stop sign that says buy Canadian. I'd walk around the mall. And there's people came back that owned the smoke shop, and they'd been out for lunch.
Oh yeah.
And they came back after lunch, and the guy comes up to me and he says, "Are you a boy beaver or a girl beaver?" And I wasn't allowed to talk, so I just kind of went, like this. He went, "Let's find out," and he punches me right in the testicle.
Right.
Down I go onto the ground, and I was just like, and I tried to hit him with my little Buy Canadian sign and stuff, and I couldn't. And that happened to me.
Really
no.
bad.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's how that guy tests genders all the time.
Don't try
Socking people in the crotch.
Did he really talk like that?
Yeah, he had an accent. Maybe not quite that accent, but that was
very Arnie.
Hans and Frog.
Yeah, it was a little Arnie, but it was.
And what's supposed to happen? Like women are supposed to not go down when they get slugged really hard.
No, then they slap them. That's how he knows they're women.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a horrible thing, and I thought that's one of the worst kind of gigs that I've had to do. I mean, I've had to dress up as clowns. I've had to dress up as some sea captain handing out flyers and stuff like that.
No, once you don't have a human face, they don't think you're human.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, kids. Kids go nuts on mascots too, right?
Yeah. But have you had to do that? Have you had to dress up? What's like the worst kind of gig that you've had to do?
I've had a lot of bad gigs.
Yeah.
We have all done improv gigs, and one of the worst kind of improv gigs that you got to do is called a roving gig, which is sort of what you were doing. But we're not even covered. We don't even have something over our faces, so people recognize us.
So what happens?
Well, you do really crappy gigs that are barely gigs. One time time I had to be gendarmes or whatever, and it turned out we were just actually opening doors for people, and we tried to do as little as possible. It was my friend Gary Jones who was on the show.
Were you dressed like a gendarme?
Yeah, we were dressed like a gendarme and whatever. And
Is he the action guy? Gendarme.
No, he's they're like French.
Oh, Van Damme. I'm sorry. Okay, I don't.
French police or whatever.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I misunderstood. Misunderstood.
But people were just, we were supposed to be talking and being very funny, but people were just, filing in. So we ended up just holding doors for people. So people.
The most expensive doorman they
that's
ever
not-
hired.
Absolutely.
That's not a bad gig, though,
That's not
because
bad.
you're just holding the door.
It's pretty crappy
boring
when
Anybody
people-
punch you in the nuts during it?
No, but
Come on,
people
that's not the
recognized
worst
us and
thing.
went, oh, the acting's not going very
Oh,
well.
that's bad. Yes,
Okay,
see, that's
one
bad.
time
Yeah,
with
they
Gary
recognized
Jones,
it's bad.
with Dean Hagland and myself, we were at the planetarium dressed as Star Trek characters.
That was
It was for a no, you wouldn't know someone.
No.
It was for a Purex convention, Purex toilet paper,
yeah.
and our job was, I was dressed as Deanna Troy, was to hand out rolls of toilet paper to all the people coming to the convention.
Wow.
Oh, that's terribly lame.
I sense you need
Were
to
people
apply.
Well, we
wanting
had to do a similar thing when to promote the Star Trek shows on Granville Island.
Oh,
Do you remember
right.
that? And we all had
Right.
to go out in
And
costume
walk on Granville
through the
Island.
packed Granville Island. And by the end of it, you sort of try at first to kind of like do little scenes like we're on an alien planet kind of thing in your character. It's just
And
became
people are buying
lamer.
vegetables.
And it became lamer and lamer. And by the
Yeah.
end, we were actually like running away from people, like just like running around Granville Island trying to hide.
Well, how
dressed
old
as
are you
Star
at that
Trek
point? It was like for a job like that. I mean, you
30.
gotta-
30.
Oh, sorry. I
Okay.
was gonna say there's an excuse for it. But
No.
One of my very first gigs was actually that reminded me of it. I was in I was in an IKEA, and we were hired to do improv in the IKEA sets as people were shopping, like in the kitchen. We're like making up scenes,
And they
or
just
in the
thought you were crazy
bedroom.
people.
They just thought we were crazy people.
Sure.
They just thought we were other shoppers. And I remember coming up with this brilliant idea. We're supposed to be wacky characters, and me and this other guy hid in a bin of doormats. Sort of like burlappy, kind of really twiggy
like-
doormats,
yeah.
and then we'd pop up and scare people. That was our big funny bit.
Oh man,
I
we'll
did-
just take a quick second. We're going to be right back with more horrible gig stories right after this on Roundtable. Oh. We're back on Roundtable. I'm your host, Michael Roberts, and I'm here with Ellie Harvie and Shawn MacDonald, Roman Danylo, talking about the worst gigs we've had as actors.
Yeah.
And some of these, they're showing me up.
We
I
got
gotta tell
lots.
you did the Bucky the Beaver.
Yes, thank you for remembering me. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. Missed it.
Oh,
You
sorry.
were a brilliant
Was it for a
Bucky.
week?
I did
This week only.
I've seen it on the internet. You're
at the pumpkin patch, like in Richmond, they have the big pumpkin patch. I was hired to be Polly Pumpkin. It was a big pumpkin costume, and you put on the thing and dance around in leotards, like you kind of dance with all the band plays.
To what?
To the band, there's actually a band and they're all, Bev Elliott and all these people are
Yeah.
playing country stuff. And so I went and I put on the big thing, and then I put the stem over my head because it was like a stem that you could just kind of see through, but it was just like across your face. And I actually had like claustrophobia. I just completely I can't do it. I went out and walked out, and then I ran back into the thing and I had to take it off, and I was like, I can't be Polly Pumpkin. I can't do it. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out here. So they gave me red overalls and freckles and a hat and stuff, so I was greeter, pumpkin eater, and I would greet the kids and basically do stand-up for kids, which was interesting. So I'd say things like, gee, those pumpkin run fast, and all the kids would go, no, they don't. And then one night,
so they're good hecklers.
Yeah.
I get that in clubs all the time.
She was teaching heckling. She was teaching heckling. That's so
I
cool.
was. But then one night, the only night we were open, greeter, pumpkin eater takes them all to this big tent where they can play in hay before they get on the hayride to go get their pumpkins.
Wow.
And I go out there, and there's just packed with kids. It's really busy. And all of a sudden, I just hear one kid go, get her! And so all these kids just all I hear is they're all screaming high pitched like like I'm in Lord of the Flies, and they're all running at me with hay, just whipping it at me, and I had to bend over, and they're stuffing it. I stuffing it in my mouth and my eyes, and I was like getting this hang out of my. It was horrible.
Oh, wow.
Did you make a lot of money for that gig?
No.
No.
Oh, did it for the love.
The love.
You do that
the
for
art,
the love,
the
the art, yeah.
But it's true, those kinds of gigs are nightmarish. But with improv, a lot of the corporate gigs that you do, you end up just sort of showing up in a room and having to do an entire show in like once I did a show with Gary Jones.
Where is he? He should have been here today.
Yeah. On a stair.
Yeah.
Like it was 3 stairs, and it was in this huge warehouse packed with like thousands of people. And we have to keep their attention standing next to each other, looking at each other like this on a stair. And we were brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. There's always horrible ones. The worst situation, because you show up and there's no technical assistance and there's no microphone or whatever, and there's always no lighting. Yeah. So the worst one I had, they had absolutely no lighting. I went, there's no one can see me here, but it was in a restaurant. So what I had them do was turn up the heat lamp from the buffet. So just the side of my face.
Just
like, well done while I'm doing this.
He looks ready to be
slightly
served.
sweaty on this side.
I did one. I'm not really much. I mean, I've done a bit more improv and stuff now, and I'd feel a lot more comfortable doing this act now, although I would never do it. I got hired years and years ago with another actor of a skinny variety to be a Laurel and Hardy for a bar mitzvah. For some reason, this bar mitzvah that was being held at the...
Because Jewish kids love Laurel and Hardy.
I guess they do.
It's very big at the
they
synagogues.
love silent movies. And so they had this thing at one of the, I can't think of the big hotel downtown, with a huge hotel, a huge crystal ballroom at this hotel. And I go in, and we're all dressed up in our black suits and that kind of thing. We go in with our hats, and we said, well, what do we do? We said, well, let's work out this routine with pies. And I said, this routine will work really well. I said, we'll do this thing where we'll set all the pies down, and you set one on a chair, and I'll sit on it, and they'll think that's hilarious, and I'll chase you around, and we'll do a few minutes of that, and then we'll leave. So that'll be great, that'll be fine, because we're part of a whole bunch of other things. Well, what we didn't know was, first of all, everyone's dressed to the nines. I mean, they're dressed like expensive suits and tuxedos and dresses. We get in there. I also didn't know that whipped cream, if you leave it out, just gets really liquefied. So that we were like, these are just like plates of cream now.
Like soup.
Yeah. So we set them down, we do the trick, we set the thing in the chair, I sit on it, whipped cream shoots out from between my legs, a stream of it, about 20 feet. And the audience, the kids just roared with laughter because it looked funny. All the adults went, ew. Like really weird and gross.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm now sitting in just cream, and I'm thinking this is just awful. So I get up and I chase him with another one. I trip and I hit a guy in a tuxedo on the chest with this cream. It all goes down this guy's shirt. I just look, I'm so sorry. And he's like, that's all right. And we run around. We head around the thing. Let's just get out of here. So we head for the door. And we're like, bye, kids. And we run out of the thing. There's a maitre d' or a concierge is waiting back there. And he goes, what are you doing? You cannot run out of here. You've got to clean up that mess in there. And I'm like, no. Well, then we're not a part of that. Oh, don't think you're messing my ballroom up. You get back in there to clean that up. No. And I said, well, yeah, we're coming right back. And he goes, and another thing, you're not funny. But that was one of the worst gigs ever.
Wow, all the people in your stories have great accents.
Yeah.
They sound like me.
Yeah,
All my people sound like me.
Yeah,
Weird.
I work with a lot of,
That's good.
Europeans.
It's exciting. I wish my life was like that.
That's one of the worst gigs. But I did get chased by a bunch of kids when I was a clown. Like that. I had that. I know the exact feeling. I just heard the voices behind me. I look around. They came running at me. They knocked me down into a ditch. They tore my costume. And they ripped my wig off. Why?
Why not?
They're just kids.
Fun for the kids.
I think it's fun for the kids.
Just fun for the kids.
Oh man, we'll talk more about kids and stuff when we come back to Roundtable after this. It's one of the most traumatic experiences of my life.
Horrible.
Baby hero.
Welcome back to Roundtable. I'm your host, Michael Roberts. I want to tell you about something that just happened a while back now, but it was that Mattel decided to break Ken and Barbie up.
All right.
And I don't know whether they
I'm
announced
so
it
out of the loop on this.
No, but they've been unhappy for a long time.
So it's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. But I didn't know whether it was like for the kids themselves, like if they're going to go through like divorce bomb Barbie, or if it's like they're just no longer together and they're going to introduce new people. But it got me thinking about remembering toys that we had when we were kids. And do we have favorite toys when we were kids?
Definitely.
Or a toy that you never got that you always wanted to get?
Yeah, I got a little bit of both there. I really loved the Light Bright. Oh, I saw the Light Bright. I wanted the Light Bright. So I asked. What is that? It's like a good soundtrack. Keep that. So I really begged my mom for the Light Bright set, but she didn't quite understand, Ukrainian ethnic woman. So what she bought me instead were the Light Bright pigs. Just the replacement
It's
pig.
a much better deal though. If you
So
went
it's
to the store.
way cheaper, but there's no thing to actually put the Light Bright pigs
You can kind of hold
in.
them up to a light bulb for
I know.
a while.
I'm just holding them up like green,
Lose, Petey.
blue, orange. Not making anything out of it.
That's sad.
Yeah, it
childhood
was sad.
story.
I had a big Jim doll
Ooh.
when I was a kid.
How did that work for you?
Big
It
Jim
was
sports camper.
fantastic.
He's the king of the road.
Big
Better help
Big
unload.
Jim sports camper. Yeah, I love the Big Jim sports camper. But the best thing about Big Jim was the little thing on his back.
Yeah,
that you press,
yeah.
like his
Oh,
hands.
yeah.
Well, his hands like because he can hold on to things and stuff. And a little axe. He has a little lumberjack outfit that you put on him, and you put an axe in his hand. And you press his back, and he just sort of goes like this, right?
Nice.
Bash its things.
Like
And
a
he-
Kung Fu grip.
Yeah, he actually came with a little piece of plastic, wood. But it looked like wood, and you put it together, and he actually could karate it.
What was the purpose of Big Jim? Like, I didn't understand. Was he just a guy?
More importantly,
was-
what did you
he could-
use them for?
I thought he was fantastic. He did stuff. He
Was he
went out
a
and
superhero?
no, he was
like
big, man.
I know, but he was like the equivalent of like the Barbie then for
No,
guys?
you know
like
what?
a G.I. Joe?
What
Barbie.
that
It was a-
doll was for? Big Jim was for brothers to terrorize their sisters with by beating up the Barbies.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what it was.
Clunk, clunk, right.
Yeah.
A little bit of that, I guess.
And Barbies, I wasn't allowed to have Barbies because my mom was a feminist, and she thought that they were vulgar, cheap, common tramps.
Wow.
And so I would, but it was so funny because I knew that. And
Is she referred to breasts as dirty pillows? Is this like
Not
Carrie?
dirty pillows,
Did you have
no.
some kind of horrible upbringing like Carrie?
No, she was very
the hell?
conservative. She was very conservative,
Okay, all right.
and so I wasn't allowed to play with Barbies. So it consequently made me like obsessed with Barbies. So I go to my friend's house and just be like, I love your Barbies, and or just I'd play endlessly. And I was like I think 14 when my friends were like shipping them out, and I go, oh, can I play with them before you put them in the basement?
Wow.
Sad.
Do you have one at home?
No, but every now and then I'll dress myself up,
Oh.
and then bend my knee.
Did you get the Special Addams Family Barbie?
No,
Did no one give you one?
was there one?
Yeah, Barbie and Ken as Morticia Gomez came out a couple years ago.
Nobody told me.
Oh, I
You
would've
know,
thought what an
showbiz is
appropriate
a cruel
Christmas
life.
gift
Totally.
for a friend.
Absolutely.
Would have got a friend.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'm
You're-
not a friend
Mike,
anymore.
You're my friend.
Yeah, I know.
Where's the doll?
Yeah, I gave it to somebody else.
Oh, interesting.
Thanks for the dolls, Mike. Those were great.
You remember the dolls with the hair that you pulled out of their heads?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Those were fun. My sister
You'd-
and I
you'd-
would just like
You'd pull,
rip it right out.
yeah, their hair
No,
would
like-
grow. You'd pull the hair and it would grow, and then you'd crank it back in and it would be short again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then there was Barbies that had the quick curl Barbies. Their hair was wire, and
Oh,
you'd
God.
put a little, you'd put a clamper and to curl it until you could curl their hair because it was all wire. It's very cool.
Wow.
We would just
Barbie.
burn all those dolls. That's
Yeah.
all we do.
I
We'd
know.
go under the little thing in the playground and burn them.
Did you
Melt
make
them.
movies doing that? Did you one of those kids?
No.
I had a friend who did that. Who had all the toys, and then he had a movie camera. Wow. They slowly burnt them all and making movies.
What's he doing now?
Props.
I know who that is. So funny.
Yeah. No, I mean it was great. It was great. What about games, like board games and stuff? Were you into board games when you
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to
Rebound.
play Risk.
Oh,
Yeah,
Risk.
that's a cool.
Risk was the smart game. I couldn't play Risk.
Well, we were like, I don't know, maybe 11, 12 years old when we were playing it. We got into huge fights over Risk. Like, someone would start to take over the world, and like the animosity just got incredibly
Yes.
out of control.
I knew politics
Very,
would come
very
into this eventually.
competitive. Monopoly was competitive in my
Monopolies, yeah.
house.
So-
And my brother always cheated too. He was always the banker and always ended up with the money, and it was like, something's wrong.
I still like playing Monopoly.
Oh yeah, those games are still pretty good to sort of revisit. You kind of lose them for a while. You don't play them, and then now it's like you're camp or you're on a cabin or something. You're like, wow. this
Yeah,
game.
no,
You're in prison.
Monopoly.
It's
You're
like
in prison.
Chinese checkers. I used to play all the time when I was a kid, and I haven't played it in years.
What about Mousetrap? Remember that game?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
was an
fun.
awesome-
A lot of
I
pieces.
bought one recently at a garage sale. I
Did it
tried
have
to
all the
set
pieces?
up.
Did it have
Well,
all
I
the
think
pieces?
that's what's missing. I could
Yeah,
not
no.
for the
No,
life
see,
of me
you know,
make it work. It
you
seemed
can't
all
get
be
a game
together,
like
but
that.
it was like,
You can't get a game like that used. You're gonna make
No.
pieces.
No, there's
Even
a
when you
reason they're
get it,
selling it, right?
it only lasts about 5 minutes
Yeah.
in the house
Was
with
it a
kids,
fun
because then
game?
like, there was actually pieces that you moved around and you could win, but it was really all just about the putting the ball.
Pulling the thing, yeah. You know what was fun?
And the kick and the thing.
I
Hang on,
actually I bought it
Kerplunk?
recently. No, Rebound. ever play Rebound?
Oh, the thing with the...
It's a little rubber thing at the
absolutely.
end, and it was like kind of like shuffled. Doink, and it came back.
What was that again?
Rebound.
No, what was the
noise?
doink? Doink, doink. Okay, thank you.
We didn't have the theme song for Rebound, so we had to do his own sound effects. We'll be right back on Roundtable. After this.
Seriously, thanks for the dolls.
You're welcome. Welcome back to Roundtable. I'm Michael Roberts, and that is another show, all done up like a little thing with a thing on it.
A gift with a bow?
Thank you for filling in my words.
Wow, that's excellent.
Yes, I want to thank my guests, Ellie Harvie, Shawn MacDonald, Roman Danylo. Well, wrap it all up. Anybody have anything they would like to say?
I just think we nailed that. We really nailed
Yeah,
that.
we nailed it.
did.
I think I won.
Yeah. I think if there was prizes.
Yeah.
Isn't it time to vote somebody off now?
Yeah, it's a different show. It's reality TV, but it's slightly different. But anyway, would anyone like to plug? You got anything
I
coming
think
up?
Roman's got something
Roman
coming
got
up.
something?
Oh,
You're on
I
TV.
just always want to mention the show, Comedy Inc. on CTV and the Comedy Network whenever you get a chance.
A very funny show. Tune in.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'd like to mention Tuesdays at Yuck Yucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's here in Vancouver. If you're in
Right.
Vancouver, get down to where?
Yuck Yucks, it's at the Century Hotel right beside St. Paul's Hospital. You'll see Roman
Century Plaza.
and Shawn
Century
are
Plaza
regular
Hotel.
players.
Yeah.
Century Plaza Hotel.
Oh,
Maybe
is it
me
possible?
one day? If I have
Maybe
the
you one
guts
day.
to actually get up and do
yeah,
it?
man.
Yes, coward.
Yes.
I mean, Michael.
All right. Well, I think we've all put me in my place.
Yeah.
So let's say goodbye to this week's Roundtable and take it out, as always, the Sandy Allen Quartet.
There once was a beaver named Bucky, and all of his friends thought he was oh so lucky. But they all turned out to be horribly wrong. That's why we're singing this song. Bucky the beaver was a beaver with a mission. He had no time for building dams or going fishing. The shopping mall was where he spent his time, walking and carrying a sign. Buy Canadian. One day Bucky was walking along without a care in the world, when suddenly a Dutch guy demanded to know,
was she a boy or a girl?
Bucky just shrugged, he waved his sign and did a little bit of a dance. That's what must have made that Dutch guy punch him in the front of his pants. Oh! Bucky went down like a ton of bricks with his Buy Canadian sign. But the symbol of our nation had a smooth recuperation. Bucky and his Roger just